Chapter 1. Breaking the Silence. Hi, I am Ariel, and today I am going to talk about how you can move from silence to speech in English. For many of us, the hardest part of learning English is actually speaking it. You might understand the words, know the grammar, and even have practiced listening. But when it comes to opening your mouth and speaking in English, there's often a moment of hesitation. Fear creeps in, fear of making mistakes, fear of being misunderstood, or simply fear of sounding strange. And then, silence. But here's the thing. Staying silent won't help you improve. Speaking, no matter how simple or imperfect, is the key to gaining confidence in English. You don't have to speak perfectly. You just have to start speaking. Lao Tzu once said, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." And in your journey to becoming a confident English speaker, the first step is breaking the silence. You might be wondering, where do I start? How do I go from saying nothing to actually speaking in English? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Let's explore a few simple techniques that will help you take that first step from silence to speech. 1. Start small. Just one sentence a day. You don't have to jump into a long conversation right away. Start with just one sentence each day. This could be something as simple as, "I like coffee," or "It's a nice day today." The goal here is to get comfortable with speaking out loud, even if it's only a few words. Each day, try to say something in English, whether to yourself, a friend, or even a pet. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. 2. Repeat after native speakers. A great way to build confidence is to repeat after native speakers. You can watch videos, listen to podcasts, or even use the videos on our website, thestoryspeak.online, which are designed for English practice. Pick a sentence or phrase, listen to how it's said, and then repeat it out loud. This helps you practice pronunciation and intonation without having to come up with your own words. 3. Practice with yourself. You don't always need a partner to practice speaking. You can practice with yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and talk about your day in English. Say things like, "Today I went to the store," or "I am learning English." By speaking to yourself, you get used to hearing your own voice in English, which is an important part of building confidence. It also takes the pressure off since you're only speaking for yourself. These simple techniques are your first steps in breaking the silence. Remember, you don't need to say much at first, just a few words or sentences every day. As you practice more, you'll find that speaking in English becomes easier and less scary. Here's something to keep in mind. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Don't worry if you say something wrong or forget a word. Every time you speak, even if it's not perfect, you're improving. Over time, you'll get better, and your confidence will grow. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you already taken the first step to speak in English? What was your experience? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Remember, you're not alone. Everyone starts somewhere, and by speaking up, you're already ahead of many others who stay silent. Also, Make sure to check out the videos we've uploaded on thestryspeak.online to help you practice speaking. These are perfect for beginners and will guide you through simple sentences and conversations so you can start building your confidence right away. Chapter 2. Finding your voice. Once you've broken the silence and taken that first step towards speaking, the next step is finding your voice in English. What does that mean? It means discovering the confidence to speak in a way that feels natural to you. Everyone's voice is unique, and the more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become with your own style of speaking. But how do you find your voice? Let's explore a few simple techniques that will help you speak with more ease and confidence. 1. Speak in front of a mirror. A powerful way to get comfortable with speaking is by practicing in front of a mirror. When you can see yourself speaking, it helps you focus on your expressions and body language. You can practice saying things like, "Hello, my name is," or "Today I went for a walk." Don't worry about making mistakes. Just keep speaking. Over time, you'll notice how much more confident you feel. 2. Shadowing. Repeat after native speakers. Shadowing is one of the best ways to improve your fluency. This technique involves listening to a native speaker and then repeating what they say immediately after. You can use podcasts, YouTube videos, or the resources we've uploaded on thestryspeak.online for this. Listen to a sentence or phrase, pause the audio, and then repeat it out loud. Try to match their tone, speed, and pronunciation. This practice helps you sound more natural when speaking and gives you the confidence to speak up. There's a popular quote that fits perfectly here. The only way to speak well is to speak often. The more you speak, the better you'll get. It's that simple. 3. Speak with trusted friends or family. Sometimes speaking in front of strangers can feel intimidating, especially when you're still building your confidence. That's why it's helpful to start practicing with people you trust, like friends or family. Tell them you're learning English and would love to practice with them. Start with simple questions like, "How are you?" or "What did you do today?" The more you practice in a comfortable environment, the easier it will be to speak with others later on. 4. Record yourself. Speaking. If you want to track your progress, try recording yourself speaking. You don't need any special equipment. Just use your phone or computer. Start by saying a few simple sentences like introducing yourself or talking about something you did today. Then, listen back to the recording. At first, it might feel strange to hear your own voice, but this is an important step in building confidence. You'll be able to hear your progress and notice areas where you can improve. Remember, this journey is about progress, not perfection. Every time you speak, you're moving closer to finding your true voice in English. Don't be afraid to experiment with different words, phrases, or expressions as you speak. The more you practice, the more your voice will become your own. Consistency is key. One of the most important things to remember is that consistency is key. You don't have to speak for hours every day. Even a few minutes of practice can make a big difference. Set aside a little time each day to practice speaking, whether it's in front of a mirror, with a friend, or by repeating after a native speaker. Over time, these small efforts will add up, and you'll start to notice that your voice is becoming stronger and more confident. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How do you feel when you practice speaking English? Do you feel more confident after speaking in front of a mirror or with someone you trust? Share your experience in the comments below. Also, be sure to check out the shadowing videos on thestoryspeak.online to help you improve your fluency and find your voice in English. These videos are perfect for beginners and will guide you through real conversations, helping you build the confidence to speak naturally. Chapter 3: Overcoming the Fear of Mistakes. One of the biggest obstacles that holds people back from speaking English is the fear of making mistakes. Maybe you've felt this way before, nervous to speak because you're worried you might say the wrong word, use incorrect grammar, or misunderstand someone. This fear can keep you silent, and the longer you stay silent, the harder it becomes to start speaking. But here's a secret. Making mistakes is a good thing. Yes, you heard that right. Mistakes are proof that you're trying, and each one is an opportunity to learn and improve. In fact, nobody learns a new language without making mistakes. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time. The difference is, they don't let those mistakes stop them from speaking. There's a famous quote that fits this perfectly. Mistakes are proof that you are trying, and if you're trying, you're already on the right path. Let's talk about a few techniques that can help you overcome the fear of making mistakes and gain the confidence to speak freely. 1. Embrace mistakes as part of the learning process. The first step to overcoming this fear is to change the way you think about mistakes. Instead of seeing them as failures, start seeing them as opportunities. Each time you make a mistake, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Maybe you'll learn a new word, or you'll understand how to structure a sentence better next time. Every mistake brings you closer to mastering English. Remember this: mistakes don't define you. They're just part of the journey. The more you embrace them, the faster you'll grow. 2. Speak slowly and clearly. Sometimes the fear of making mistakes comes from feeling rushed or pressured to speak quickly. But you don't need to speak fast to communicate well. In fact, speaking slowly and clearly can help you avoid mistakes and give you time to think about what you want to say. If you're in a conversation, take your time. People will understand, and they'll appreciate that you're making an effort. So next time you're about to speak, remind yourself that it's okay to pause and think. Slow, clear speech is better than fast, unclear speech. 3. Focus on communication, not perfection. The goal of speaking English is not to be perfect, it's to communicate. Think about it. When you're having a conversation, what's more important? Saying everything perfectly or being understood? Most of the time, the other person just wants to understand you, even if your grammar isn't perfect. Focus on getting your message across. And don't worry too much about the little mistakes along the way. If you're worried about how others will react to your mistakes, remember this. People are usually more impressed by your effort to speak a new language than by the mistakes you make. It takes courage to speak in a foreign language, and most people will respect that. Practice speaking without judgment. It's important to create a space where you can practice speaking without fear of being judged. This could be with a friend who is also learning English, or by practicing alone in front of a mirror. The more you practice in a low-pressure environment, the more confident you'll feel when speaking with others. If you don't have a partner to practice with, try using the resources on thestoryspeak.online, where you can follow along with speaking exercises designed for beginners. These exercises will help you build confidence by practicing in a supportive, judgment-free way. 5. Correct yourself and move on. When you do make a mistake while speaking, it's okay. Just correct yourself and keep going. For example, if you say, "I go to the store yesterday," you can quickly correct it by saying, I went to the store yesterday." The important thing is to keep the conversation flowing and not get stuck on the mistake. Over time, you'll become more comfortable with correcting yourself, and it won't feel like a big deal. In fact, self-correction is a skill that will help you improve faster. The more you practice, the easier it will be to catch your own mistakes and adjust without losing confidence. Celebrate your progress. Every time you speak, you're making progress, whether you make mistakes or not. It's important to celebrate that progress. Look back at where you started and recognize how much you've improved. This will motivate you to keep going and help you build even more confidence. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is your biggest fear when it comes to speaking English? Do you worry about making mistakes? And if so, how do you handle it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might help others who are going through the same thing. Also, don't forget to check out the videos on thestoryspeak.online that focus on overcoming the fear of speaking. These videos are filled with tips and exercises to help you feel more confident, even when you're unsure of your words. Chapter 4. Building a Daily Speaking Routine. Now that we've discussed how to overcome the fear of making mistakes, it's time to focus on building a habit that will make you a more confident speaker, creating a daily speaking routine. You've probably heard the saying, "Practice makes perfect." While perfection isn't the goal here, consistent practice will definitely bring you closer to fluency and comfort in speaking English. The key to gaining confidence is not just speaking every once in a while, it's making speaking English part of your everyday life. This chapter will show you how to build a simple, effective routine that will keep you speaking every day. 1. Start with one sentence a day. If you're just starting out, it's important to keep things simple. Begin your daily routine by speaking just one sentence in English each day. This can be as easy as saying, "I am learning English today," or "The weather is nice." You don't need to have long conversations right away. Just get comfortable speaking a little bit every day. As you continue, you can add more sentences. The goal is to make speaking a natural part of your routine, so it feels less like a challenge and more like a habit. 2. Use a speaking journal. Another great way to build a daily speaking routine is by keeping a speaking journal. Each day, write down 1 or 2 sentences in English and then say them out loud. For example, you can write about what you did that day, like, "Today I went to the store," or what your plans are for tomorrow. By writing and speaking at the same time, you'll reinforce what you're learning and build confidence in both writing and speaking. Recording your daily sentences is a great way to track your progress over time. As the days go by, you'll notice that you can say more and more without hesitation. 3. Speak to yourself throughout the day. One of the easiest ways to practice speaking is by talking to yourself. Yes, it might sound funny, but it works. Throughout your day, describe what you're doing in English. For example, if you're making breakfast, say, "I am cooking eggs." Or if you're getting dressed, say, "I'm putting on my shirt." These little moments of practice add up and help you get used to thinking and speaking in English. This also works well when you're alone at home. You can practice short conversations with yourself, like asking questions and answering them. The more you do this, the more natural it will feel to speak English out loud. 4th, record yourself. Speaking a fantastic way to build confidence and track your improvement is by recording yourself speaking English every day. You don't need any fancy equipment. Just use your phone. Start with simple sentences like introducing yourself. "Hi, my name is," "I like to." Then listen back to your recording. At first, it might feel strange to hear your own voice, but don't worry. Listening to yourself will help you spot areas where you can improve. You'll also start noticing progress the more you practice, which will boost your confidence. Over time, as you get more comfortable, try recording longer sentences or even short paragraphs. The act of recording and listening to your own voice will help you speak more clearly and naturally. 5. Use conversation starters. If you're struggling to think of what to say, try using simple conversation starters to guide your daily practice. For example, you can ask yourself, "What did I do today?" and then answer in English. You can also use questions like, "What's my favorite food?" or "What are my plans for the weekend?" These prompts help you think in English and practice forming full sentences. Here's an example. Question: What did you do today? Answer: Today I studied English and I went for a walk in the park. Using prompts like these gives you structure, making it easier to speak without feeling stuck. 6. Create a comfortable environment. It's important to create a space where you feel comfortable speaking English. If you're constantly worried about making mistakes or being judged, it will be harder to relax and speak confidently. Find a quiet place where you can practice without interruptions. This could be your room, your car, or even a park bench. When you're practicing in a low-pressure environment, you'll feel more relaxed and free to experiment with your speaking. Over time, This will help you gain the confidence to speak in front of others. 7. Make it fun and rewarding. Learning to speak English doesn't have to be all hard work. It can be fun too. Find ways to make your daily speaking practice enjoyable. For example, you can talk about topics that interest you, like your favorite movies, food, or hobbies. You could also set small goals, like speaking for 5 minutes straight without stopping, and then reward yourself when you reach them. Setting up small rewards for meeting your goals will motivate you to keep practicing. It could be something as simple as treating yourself to a nice cup of coffee after a week of consistent practice. When learning is enjoyable, you're more likely to stick with it. Consistency is key. Remember, the key to building confidence in speaking English is consistency. Even if you only practice for 5 or 10 minutes each day, those minutes add up. Over time, you'll notice that speaking English becomes easier and more natural. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Now I'd love to hear from you. Do you already have a daily routine for speaking English, or will you start one today? Let me know in the comments below. Sharing your routine might inspire others to start theirs. Also, don't forget to visit thestoryspeak.online, where we've uploaded videos with daily speaking exercises. These videos are designed to help you build confidence, one sentence at a time. Chapter 5. Speaking in Real Conversations. Now that you've built a solid daily speaking routine, it's time to take your English speaking skills into real conversations. This is where your progress will truly shine. Speaking to yourself and practicing daily is great, but interacting with others in real-life situations will help you grow even faster. In this chapter, we'll explore how to apply your skills in everyday conversations and start speaking confidently with others. One of the most important things to remember when speaking in real-life situations is that the goal is not to be perfect, but to communicate. The people you're speaking with are more focused on understanding what you're saying than whether every word is grammatically correct. So, let's dive into some techniques that will help you start speaking in real conversations without fear. 1. Start small with greetings and simple questions. If you're new to speaking English with others, start with small, simple conversations. For example, practice greetings like, "Hello, how are you?" or "Good morning." These short exchanges help you get comfortable speaking English with real people. You can try these greetings with friends, family, or even store clerks. Once you're comfortable with greetings, move on to asking simple questions like, "How was your day?" or "What are you doing this weekend?" These are common questions that people ask every day, so they're great for building confidence in conversation. 2. Prepare for conversations. Before you speak with someone, it's helpful to prepare a few things you might want to say. Think about the situation you're going into. Maybe you're going to a cafe or meeting someone new, and prepare a few sentences ahead of time. For example, if you're going to a cafe, you can prepare to say, "I'd like a coffee, please," or "Can I have the menu?" Preparing these sentences helps reduce anxiety and gives you a plan for what to say. As you get more comfortable, you won't need to prepare as much, but it's a great way to start. 3. Use everyday opportunities to speak. Real conversations don't have to be long or complex. You can practice speaking English in everyday situations, like ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or chatting with a neighbor. The key is to take advantage of these small opportunities to practice. For example, when you're at the store, you can ask, "Where can I find the milk?" Or when you're at the bus stop, you can ask, "What time does the bus arrive?" Everyday conversations like these are great for practicing English because they're short and there's no pressure to have a long conversation. The more you practice these small exchanges, the more confident you'll feel speaking with others. 4. Use open and closed questions. When you're speaking with someone, try using both open and closed questions. Closed questions are questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no, like, "Do you like pizza?" Open questions, on the other hand, invite a longer response, like, "What do you like to do in your free time?" Closed questions are great for starting a conversation or if you're feeling nervous. Open questions, however, are useful for keeping the conversation going and encouraging the other person to talk more. You can mix both types of questions to have a balanced conversation. 5. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. In real conversations, you might make mistakes, and that's okay. Remember, nobody speaks perfectly all the time, not even native speakers. The goal is to communicate, and as long as the other person understands you, that's a success. If you make a mistake, don't worry about it. Simply correct yourself if you notice it, and move on with the conversation. Here's a tip. If you don't know a word in English, try describing it in another way. For example, if you don't know how to say fork, you could say, "the thing you use to eat food." This technique helps keep the conversation going even when you don't know the exact word. As Arthur Ashe once said, "Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can." Even if you don't know every word or phrase, you can still communicate with the words you do know. 6. Stay calm and ask for clarification. If you don't understand something someone says, don't panic. It's perfectly okay to ask them to repeat or clarify what they said. You can say things like, "Can you repeat that, please?" Or, "I didn't catch that. What did you mean?" Asking for clarification shows that you're engaged in the conversation and willing to learn. It also gives you a chance to hear the sentence again and learn something new. Native speakers won't mind repeating themselves, so don't be afraid to ask. 7th, practice speaking online or with language partners. If you don't have many opportunities to speak English in person, try finding language partners online or joining English-speaking groups. There are many platforms where you can connect with people who want to practice English or who are learning other languages. You can set up regular conversations where you practice speaking English and they practice your native language in return. Speaking online can be a great way to improve because it allows you to practice with people from different places and backgrounds. Plus, speaking online can feel less intimidating than speaking in person, which can help you build confidence more quickly. Celebrate small wins. Each time you have a conversation, no matter how short or simple, it's a win. Celebrate these small successes and use them to build your confidence for the next conversation. The more you speak, the better you'll become. And soon, you'll find yourself talking in English with ease. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you had any real conversations in English recently? How did they go? Share your experiences in the comments below. It's always helpful to hear how others are practicing. Also, don't forget to check out the videos on thestoryspeak.online, where we've uploaded examples of real-life conversations to help you practice. These videos will guide you through common situations, like ordering food or asking questions, so you can feel prepared when the time comes to speak in real life. Chapter 6. Listening and Speaking. Go hand in hand. Speaking English confidently is not just about talking, it's also about listening. Listening is an essential part of becoming a fluent speaker. The more you listen to English, the more natural your speaking will become. It's like learning the rhythm of a song. First you listen, and then you sing along. In this chapter, we'll explore how listening and speaking work together and how you can use listening to boost your speaking skills. 1. The power of listening to native speakers. Listening to native English speakers helps you understand how the language sounds naturally. When you listen to native speakers, you're not only learning new words, but you're also picking up on how they use tone, pitch, and rhythm in their speech. This helps you sound more fluent when you speak. You can find plenty of listening materials, podcasts, videos, or even music in English. A great place to start is by checking out the listening exercises and podcasts on thestoryspeak.online. These resources are designed for beginners so you can listen, repeat, and practice speaking along with them. There's a popular quote that says, "The more you listen, the better you speak." And it's true. When you spend time listening to how English is spoken, you'll naturally start to imitate the patterns and sounds in your own speech. 2. Shadowing. Imitate what you hear. One of the best techniques to connect listening with speaking is called shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a sentence in English and immediately repeating it out loud, just like a shadow follows its source. You can listen to any podcast, video, or audio clip in English, pause after each sentence, and then repeat what you heard. Try to match the speaker's tone, speed, and pronunciation as closely as possible. This practice helps you get used to the flow of English and improves your pronunciation. Shadowing also builds your confidence because you're mimicking native speakers and practicing real-life sentences. The more you practice shadowing, the more natural speaking English will feel. On thestoryspeak.online, we've uploaded shadowing videos specifically designed to help you improve both listening and speaking. I recommend trying them out to get comfortable with this technique. 3. Listening to conversations. It's one thing to listen to scripted language lessons, but listening to real conversations between English speakers is incredibly helpful. Conversations are full of common phrases, expressions, and natural pauses that you won't find in textbooks. When you listen to real conversations, you get a feel for how English is spoken in everyday life. You can listen to conversations on TV shows, YouTube channels, or podcasts. Focus on how people ask questions, respond, and keep the conversation going. Then, try to apply what you hear in your own conversations. As you listen, don't worry if you don't understand every word. The goal is to get used to the way English is spoken, not to catch every single detail. The more you listen, the more you'll pick up over time. 4. Repeat what you hear in daily life. Throughout your day, try to repeat phrases you hear in English. For example, if you hear someone say, "How's it going?" on a TV show, pause and repeat the phrase out loud. You can do this with any word or sentence that stands out to you. This practice helps you build your vocabulary and trains your brain to recognize and use new phrases. You can also practice this technique while listening to songs or watching movies. If you hear a phrase that sounds interesting, repeat it out loud. Even though it's a small step, repeating phrases regularly helps you become more familiar with the language and boosts your speaking confidence. 5. Listen to different accents. English is spoken all over the world, and there are many different accents. Listening to various accents will help you understand English speakers from different places, and it will also improve your ability to speak clearly. Whether it's British English, American English, or Australian English, each accent has unique sounds that are useful to hear. You don't have to master every accent, but becoming familiar with a few different ones will help you feel more confident when speaking with people from different backgrounds. 6. Use what you hear to improve your pronunciation. Listening is a powerful tool for improving your pronunciation. As you listen to English speakers, pay attention to how they pronounce difficult sounds. For example, notice how they say words with th sounds, like think or this, or how they pronounce the R sound in words like car or read. Once you hear these sounds clearly, practice repeating them until you feel comfortable. Good pronunciation doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, you'll start to notice improvements in how you speak. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes along the way. The goal is to keep improving, and listening carefully will help you get there. 7. Create a balance between listening and speaking. While listening is crucial, don't forget to balance it with speaking practice. As you listen to new words, phrases, and sentences, make sure to practice saying them out loud. Every time you hear something new, give yourself a chance to say it in your own voice. This way, you're not just absorbing the language, you're using it. If you find that you're doing a lot of listening but not much speaking, try to shift the balance. For every 10 minutes of listening, try to spend at least 5 minutes speaking. This could be repeating phrases, shadowing, or practicing with a language partner. Celebrate your progress. Listening and speaking are two sides of the same coin. The more you practice both, the more natural your English will become. Each time you listen and repeat, you're building your skills step by step. Celebrate your progress, even if it feels small at first. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite English podcasts, shows, or resources for listening practice? Share them in the comments below. Hearing what others are using might give you new ideas for improving your own listening and speaking skills. Also, don't forget to explore thestoryspeak.online for more listening and speaking exercises. These resources are designed to help you improve at your own pace so you can become a confident English speaker. Chapter 7. Staying motivated on the journey. Learning to speak English is a journey, and like any journey, it has its ups and downs. Some days you'll feel like you're making great progress, and other days might feel a bit more difficult. That's completely normal. The key to success is staying motivated even when things get tough. In this chapter, we'll explore how to stay positive, motivated, and committed to your goal of becoming a confident English speaker. Remember, learning a language isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process. As Confucius once said, "It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop." Let's talk about how you can keep moving forward on this journey, no matter the challenges you face. 1. Set small, achievable goals. One of the best ways to stay motivated is by setting small, achievable goals. These goals should be realistic and measurable so you can easily track your progress. For example, instead of saying, "I want to speak English fluently," break that big goal into smaller steps like, "I will practice speaking for 10 minutes a day," or "I will learn 5 new words this week." When you achieve these small goals, it gives you a sense of accomplishment and keeps you motivated to continue. Plus, every small success brings you one step closer to your bigger goal of fluency. 2. Track your progress. It's easy to feel stuck or frustrated if you don't see how much progress you're making. That's why it's important to track your improvement. Keep a journal where you write down what you've practiced each day, new words you've learned, or conversations you've had in English. You can also record yourself speaking and listen to those recordings later to hear how much your speaking has improved over time. Seeing how far you've come will motivate you to keep going, especially on days when you feel like you're not making progress. Even small improvements are worth celebrating. 3. Reward yourself for milestones. Learning English is hard work, so make sure to reward yourself when you reach important milestones. Did you have your first conversation in English? Did you complete a week of daily speaking practice? Celebrate. Treat yourself to something you enjoy, whether it's a nice meal, watching your favorite show, or taking a relaxing break. Rewards make the learning process more fun and give you something to look forward to after completing your goals. 4. Stay patient and positive. It's easy to get discouraged if you feel like you're not improving fast enough, but remember, progress takes time. Every new word, every conversation, and every mistake is part of the learning process. Don't be too hard on yourself if things don't go perfectly. Stay patient and remind yourself that with consistent effort, you will improve. Positive thinking can make a big difference. Instead of saying, "I'm not good at English," try saying, "I'm getting better at English every day." Focus on what you're learning and the effort you're putting in, rather than the mistakes you might make along the way. As Theodore Roosevelt said, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." Your mindset is just as important as your practice. 5. Connect with others on the same journey. One of the best ways to stay motivated is by connecting with other learners who are also practicing English. Whether it's online through language learning communities, in a classroom, or with a language partner, sharing your journey with others makes the experience more enjoyable. You can support each other, share tips, and celebrate each other's successes. Join online forums or social media groups where people share their progress and encourage one another. You might find that many others are going through the same challenges, and their advice or stories could inspire you to keep going. 6. Mix up your practice. Sometimes learning can feel repetitive, which might cause you to lose interest. To keep things exciting, mix up your practice. Don't just stick to one method of learning. Try listening to podcasts, watching English TV shows, reading books, and speaking with friends. You can also use language learning apps or participate in conversation exchanges. By keeping your practice varied and engaging, you'll stay motivated and interested in the language. Plus, learning English in different ways helps reinforce your skills from multiple angles. 7. Visualize your success. Visualization is a powerful tool for staying motivated. Take a few minutes each day to imagine yourself speaking English fluently, whether you're traveling, working, or having a conversation with friends. Picture how confident you feel and how smoothly the conversation flows. This mental picture will help you stay focused on your goal and remind you why you're putting in the effort. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because you become what you believe." By visualizing yourself as a confident English speaker, you're setting the stage for that vision to become reality. 8. Revisit your reasons for learning. Whenever you feel discouraged, remind yourself why you started learning English in the first place. Whether it's for travel, work, or connecting with people from around the world, your reasons for learning are what drive you. Revisit these reasons often to stay inspired. Write down your reasons in your journal and look at them whenever you feel like giving up. They will remind you of the bigger picture and keep you motivated to continue learning. Celebrate your journey. Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. It's important to celebrate your journey, not just the end goal. Learning a language is a lifelong process, and each day of practice brings you closer to your dream of speaking English confidently. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What keeps you motivated on your English learning journey? Do you have any tips or tricks that help you stay positive and focused? Share them in the comments below, and let's support each other in reaching our goals. Also, don't forget to check out thestoryspeak.online for more motivational videos and resources to help you stay on track. These materials are designed to keep you inspired as you continue improving your English skills. Chapter 8. The Power of Speaking Every Day. We've reached the final chapter of our journey, and I want to leave you with one simple but powerful message. Speak every day. It might sound easy, but this one habit has the potential to transform your English-speaking skills and boost your confidence from silence to speech. Why is speaking every day so important? Because it builds consistency, creates a routine, and helps you get comfortable with the language. Just like learning to ride a bike or play a musical instrument, speaking English takes regular practice. The more you speak, the better you get. Let's explore how this daily habit can truly make a difference and help you achieve your goal of speaking English fluently. 1. Speaking daily builds confidence. When you speak every day, even for just a few minutes, you slowly build your confidence. At first, it might feel a little awkward or challenging, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Speaking English daily makes it part of your routine, and soon it won't feel like such a big task. It will just be something you do, like brushing your teeth or having breakfast. Speaking every day also helps you overcome any fear or anxiety you may have about making mistakes. As you practice, you'll start to notice improvements, which will motivate you to keep going. Remember, the only way to speak well is to speak often. 2. Practice doesn't have to be long. You don't need to spend hours speaking English every day to see progress. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of focused speaking practice can make a big difference. You can talk about what you did that day, describe the weather, or even explain a recipe. The important thing is to make speaking a regular habit. For example, you can start your day by saying a few sentences in English like, "Today I am going to work," or "I'm planning to read a book." At the end of the day, you can reflect on what you did. "I learned some new English words," or "I went for a walk in the park." These small daily efforts add up and help you become more fluent over time. 3. Make speaking a fun part of your day. Learning doesn't have to be boring. Make speaking English something you look forward to by finding fun and creative ways to practice. You can talk about things you enjoy, like your favorite movies, songs, or hobbies. You can even act out simple conversations you might have in real life, like ordering food at a restaurant or asking for directions. The more enjoyable your practice is, the more likely you'll be to stick with it. Don't be afraid to get creative. Try practicing with a friend, role-playing different scenarios, or recording yourself and listening back to your progress. 4. Speak with others as much as you can. While speaking alone is helpful, it's also important to practice speaking with others whenever possible. Try to find opportunities to talk to friends, family, or language partners in English. These conversations don't have to be long or complicated, just simple exchanges that help you get comfortable speaking. If you don't have many people around you who speak English, you can find online communities or language exchange partners. Speaking with others helps you apply what you've learned and practice real-life conversations. Plus, interacting with others makes learning English more social and fun. 5. Use what you've learned in real situations. The ultimate goal of practicing every day is to feel confident speaking in real-life situations. Whether it's ordering food, asking for help, or having a casual conversation, speaking English in the real world can feel a little intimidating at first. But the more you practice, the easier it gets. Remember the techniques you've learned throughout this podcast. Start small, use simple phrases, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every real conversation you have in English is a success, no matter how short or simple. The more you speak, the more natural it will become. 6. Track your daily progress. As you practice speaking every day, it's helpful to track your progress. Keep a journal where you write down what you practiced, new words you learned, and how you felt after speaking. You can also record yourself speaking and listen to the recordings over time to hear your improvement. Tracking your progress keeps you motivated and helps you see how much you're improving. Even on days when you feel like you're not making progress, looking back at your journey will show you just how far you've come. 7. Keep going. Even when it's hard. There will be days when you might not feel like speaking or when speaking English feels difficult. That's completely normal. But the key to success is to keep going, even on those hard days. Remember, each time you speak, you're getting closer to your goal of fluency. As Confucius once said, it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Every word, every sentence, every conversation counts. If you ever feel stuck, revisit the resources on thestoryspeak.online for motivation and new speaking exercises. The videos and podcasts there are designed to keep you inspired and help you continue improving your skills, no matter where you are on your journey. Celebrate your progress. As we wrap up this journey from silence to speech, take a moment to celebrate how far you've come. Learning to speak English confidently is no small feat, and every bit of progress is worth celebrating. You've practiced daily, overcome fears, and built the foundation for fluency. Keep going and never stop learning. I'd love to hear about your experience. How has speaking every day helped you improve your English? Have you noticed changes in your confidence or fluency? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might inspire others to stay motivated on their journey. And remember, if you ever need more resources, head over to thestoryspeak.online. We've uploaded videos and podcasts to help you keep practicing, stay motivated, and continue growing as a confident English speaker. This concludes your podcast, From Silence to Speech. I'm proud of your progress, and I hope you keep speaking every day. Your voice matters, and the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Keep going. You've got this.